According to a senior rescue official, up to 60 people have been killed and dozens injured as a 6.9 magnitude earthquake hit Cebu province in the central Philippines today on Tuesday night. Rescue operations are underway as authorities warn the death toll may rise amid widespread damage to infrastructure and power lines. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology reported that the quake struck at a depth of 5 kilometers, approximately 19 kilometers northeast of Bogo City. The tremors were also felt in many neighboring provinces in the central Philippines, as well as some regions in the southern Philippines. The Philippines sits along the Ring of Fire, a 40,000-kilometer arc of seismic fault lines around the Pacific Ocean that hosts more than half of the world's volcanoes and is prone to earthquakes. Now we move on to our next news. The Trump administration has proposed a 21-point Gaza Peace Plan that calls for all hostages held by Hamas to be released within 48 hours of an agreement and sets out a roadmap for Gaza once the war ends, according to a source familiar with the proposal. Meanwhile, Israel's assault in the enclave continues, with the military escalating its offensive in recent days and forcing many to flee Gaza City as the Israel Defense Forces (IDF) pushes deeper into the urban area. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, however, vowed to continue the war until Hamas is destroyed completely. The plan, which includes provisions for an international security force formulated by the USA and allies, as well as a phased rollback of IDF presence in the Gaza Strip, would also bar Hamas from any administrative role in Palestine and sets no timeline for a transfer of power in Gaza from Israel to the Palestinian Authority. The U.S. blueprint also says there cannot be any forced displacement of Gaza's population. Speaking to reporters following his announcement, here's what President Donald Trump has said.
How long do you plan to get Hamas to respond to the ceasefire proposal you put out?
Well, we're going to do about 3 or 4 days. We'll see how it is. All of the Arab countries are signed up. The Muslim countries are all signed up. Israel's all signed up. We're just waiting for Hamas. And Hamas is either going to be doing it or not. And if it's not, it's going to be a very sad end.
Is there a deadline, Mr. President? Is there room to negotiate, or is this a take it or leave it deal? Is there room to negotiate with Hamas, or is this a take it or leave it deal?
You know, with Hamas, we want very simple. We want the hostages back immediately. And we want some good behavior. And, you know, it's pretty simple. You don't get simpler. Think of it. We've signed every country in the Middle East. This was like an impossible thing. It's never been done before. This is more than Gaza. Gaza was big stuff. But Gaza is a piece of it.
Now, President Donald Trump also spoke about what will happen if Hamas rejects the deal.
And if they reject the deal, you said that Israel has your backing to do whatever they need to do. What do you envision that?
I will let them go and do what they have to do. They can do it pretty easily. I would let them go and do what they have to do. You know, we've killed about 25,000 Hamas. So certainly they paid a big price for October 7th. And this is a whole new group. You know, they come in and they come in and they keep coming. But this is a whole different group. And their leadership has been killed 3 different times. So they paid a big price. We hope that they're going to have a nice, calm life. Maybe it won't happen, but if it does, it'll be one of the greatest things ever to happen. We'll have actual peace in the Middle East.
Now for this discussion, we're joined by Professor Rohan Gunaratna. He's an international affairs expert, joins us live from Singapore. Thank you, Professor, for joining us. Good to see you. Now, what do we know about the key elements from this Trump's proposed Gaza Peace Plan? And how has, so far, if we know anything about how is it received by Palestinian leadership?
It's very good to see you, Asuma. There are 3 phases to this proposal. First is what is called the demilitarization phase, where Hamas will release the hostages, both the living and the fallen. Second is that Israeli forces will gradually withdraw from the Gaza Strip, and of course there will be redevelopment of Gaza. Right now, the Europeans have agreed to it, the Commonwealth countries have agreed to it, the Commonwealth leaders, and also the Arab governments and a number of Muslim governments, where the challenge is for Hamas to agree. And of course, President Trump, in his inimitable style, has threatened Hamas that they will have to pay a very heavy price if they don't agree. But I personally believe that this proposal is unlikely to succeed in the short term. It is because they need more time. It's not only Hamas. There is the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and there are another half a dozen threat groups, and they all have to agree to this proposal. If they don't agree, certainly there can be violations, and again insecurity can return. So what is so important is to negotiate, to consult, to have a discussion on this proposal, and for there to be more time so that permanent peace can be established in Gaza. Only if that can be done, then there will be peace in the Middle East.
And what do you think about this very open-ended plan of having no particular date set for a transfer of power from Israeli government to Palestinian Authority?
The proposal itself does not have any timelines except for what President Trump said. He said he's going to give 3 or 4 days for Hamas to decide. And of course, right now, the Qatari, Egyptian, and the Turkish intelligence services are meeting with Hamas. But because there is no timeline, that may also be an advantage, because the process of negotiation will take time. You cannot fix definite timelines. But there are 3 phases. One is the demilitarization phase, the de-radicalization phase, and of course the redevelopment phase of the Gaza Strip.
Right. Thank you, Professor, for sharing that insight. Now we move on